Hello friends, thank you for joining me once again. Today's story is called God Covenants with Abraham. And it's rooted in the Bible in Genesis in chapters 12, 15, and 18. But it also has another source. And that source talks about Abraham when he was a young boy, working in his father's idol shop. The book that contains this story is titled The Gods Are Broken, The Hidden Legacy of Abraham, Part of Jewish Communal Memory by Rabbi Jeffrey K. Salkin. The story tells us about Abraham's father, Terah. Terah was an idol maker and a merchant in Ur. One day Terah went away on a journey and he left Abraham in charge of the store. Abraham took a stick and shattered all the idols in the store, and then he placed the stick in the hand of the largest idol. When Terah returned from his journey, he found his merchandise in pieces on the floor. What happened? He demanded to know. "Oh, Father, it was terrible," Abraham said. "The small idols got hungry and they started fighting for food, and finally the large idol got angry and he broke them into little pieces." "Idols don't get hungry," said Terah. "They don't get angry. They don't speak. They're just idols." Upon hearing this, Abraham smiled and he said, "Oh, Father, if only your ears could hear what your mouth is saying. So then, do you worship them?" With that, Abraham broke with idolatry. These types of stories have their own kind of power. Because we should also admit that when Abraham shattered the idols, the shattering never stopped. It has continued to reverberate down through the ages to today. The call of Abraham, Genesis 12. The Lord had said to Abraham, "Leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you." So Abraham departed as the Lord had instructed, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all his wealth, his livestock, and all the people he had taken into his household at Haran, and headed for the land of Canaan. Then from chapter 15. Sometime later the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision, and he said to him, "Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great." But Abram replied, "Sovereign Lord, what good are all your blessings when I don't even have a son?" "You will have a son of your own, who will be your heir." Then the Lord took Abram outside and said to him, "Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." And Abram believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him as righteous because of his faith. Then the Lord told him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land as your possession." Now to chapter 18. The Lord appeared again to Abraham near the oak grove belonging to Mamre. One day Abraham was sitting at the entrance of his tent during the hottest part of the day. He looked up and noticed 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he ran to meet them and welcomed them, bowing low to the ground. Then one of them said, "I will return to you about this time next year, and your wife Sarah will have a son." Abraham and Sarah were both very old by this time. As they left, Abraham went with them to send them on their way. "Should I hide my plan from Abraham?" the Lord said. The Lord asked. For Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed through him. I have singled him out so that he will direct his sons and their families to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. Then I will do for Abraham all that I have promised. A covenant could be interpreted many different ways in early biblical times. For some it was a contract, for others a promise, for others it was a treaty. But from what we read here, it was the fundamental idea of God clarifying the relationship that he sought to establish with his people. The definition or nature of a biblical divine human covenant is a clear statement of God's purpose and intentions expressed in terms that bind God with us, his children, by solemn oath, to perform what he has promised. God says to Abraham, I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you. In this covenant with Abraham, the people of Israel are asked to obey God. This goes for us too. When God calls, that is when he makes a covenant with us. That is when he asks us to obey. Yes? Listen for him. Amen. Be blessed until we see each other again.